Joshua Guffey from Bainbridge, Georgia, his Yamaha, Factory Connection, Climb, Atlas, Fusion, Graphics, Rock River Power Sports. Finally, your final rider on the gate, the number 99 of Lance Kobush from New Florence, Missouri. His Kawasaki is backed by Monster Energy Kawasaki team, Green Shift, Pro, Circuit, Dunlop Bell, and 100%. And here we go with the 2-card.
2-card is up, and 258 Moto 1 about to get underway. Who's going to grab that Bell Helmets Holeshot? We're about to find out here in just a few seconds as, wow, everybody's heading up here to the announcer's tower. We see Ryan Holiday from Team Green over in Greenville, and even Jeff Emig in the house with us as the gate is down and racing is on, rolling through that Bell Helmets Holeshot, and wow, position jockeying already going on, and it is our KTM mounted rider of Derek Drake grabbing the early lead, getting the Bell Helmets Holeshot Award, and starting to stretch things out over the rest of the field. We see the 51 machine, I believe that was back there, of Seth Hammacher running in the number 2 spot. That is Team Green Kawasaki's new big gun.
Seth is trying to make his move on the leader right now. He's following him through the 10 Commandments as he goes into the back towards Storyland.
As we head into Storyland, the story's about to be told as first and second place, 2 riders going into that ahead of the rest of the field, while we've got that 3rd place rider watching from back there just a few seconds. But he is leading a pack of riders of about 40 riders strong right behind him, and the position jockeying is just now beginning.
Derek Drake not ready to give up the lead yet. Seth would like to take it away, but there are a lot of hungry riders right behind him. They're going through the Rocky Mountain ATV MC Sand Sweeper as they get ready to head back out to the main spectator section.
Alpine, who had opened up in the 3rd place position, is under fire and under pressure right now. It looks like by maybe Jairi Mitchell, the number 96 machine, as we battle for those top 3 positions. And nearing that first lap of completion here in this 258 class, Jason Wygant, this is one that a lot of folks are keeping a very close eye on.
Well, absolutely. We're joined by none other than Jeff Emig, who's our broadcast analyst on Fox Sports and Monster Energy Supercross. We used to work together on Lucas Oil Pro Motocross as well. It's the A-Class, and you said this is it. This is your final jumping-off point as an amateur.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's great to be here, by the way. Great to see you guys. It's awesome to see everybody here at Loretta's. I don't know how many times I've been here, but I love coming back. But for the competition that's on the track, I mean, this is it for these young riders. This is the last step before they earn their way to a professional career. I was fortunate to essentially be in this class way back in 1989, right? And so, man, it kind of gives me a good. See, I literally have goosebumps. I literally have goosebumps thinking about what it means for these kids, young men, I should say, as they're trying to make their way through this sport and develop a career. And this first moto here in this 250A is so important to set the tone for the week of racing, right? We know that this week of racing has so many challenges. You know, Mother Nature's going to show up.
Yep.
Evidently, she's taking a vacation today.
It's been beautiful. Yeah,
it's been amazing.
Whoa.
But this type of racing is what makes these guys and earns their pro rides.
Well, we're earning it right now, Jeff, is Seth Hammacher. He just got back around Derek Drake. A couple of mistakes by Drake. Hammacher taking advantage. And don't count out Justin Rodbell. You see that 3rd place Yamaha lurking, getting close. I don't think Drake is done. He's trying to come back at Hammacher, Jeff. This is a good battle.
Well, and I actually just walked all around the track taking a look at it, and it's crazy how the instincts come back. I was sitting there looking at lines and go here, there. It's like, I'm thinking, wait, what am I doing? I'm not even racing. And that's that sort of racer mentality, I guess, that you know, for these riders, they're in the process of developing their talent, their technique, and their instincts, which surely we're going to see them in Monster Energy Supercross and Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, a lot of these top riders in the coming years. But this is where they develop those attributes that lead them to become professional champions. And this track is gnarly. I'm looking around it going, I wish I was racing, but I don't wish I was racing. And this is early on the first day, right?
That's right. Yeah, this is primo right now. This battle's good, though, Rodney.
It is. Mitchell Falk, Dylan Greer all over the rear wheels of Justin Rodbell right now, the 58 machine. Tanner Stack lurking back there just a second or so behind in 6th place. Lance Kobush is also back there. Luke Neese, I'm telling you, all the 258 players are right there, and they're all trying to get in the game.
Greer making moves here, so temporarily Greer is in third. Rodbell now under fire from Drake, pushes Drake all the way outside. Drake's going to try to out-jump him through the 10 Commandments. Side by side, Drake still running the outside. Let's see if he can seal a deal. He's going to try to get them both. Derek Drake from 5th to 3rd in one corner. Some good racing.
That was awesome. I mean, such good effort. Hey, I'm going to take a walk. It's great to see you guys. I'm going to let you call this amazing race. I love seeing everybody down here at the ranch, and definitely stop by the Fox Tower later on today. Carmichael will be here. We're going to be doing some autographs and hanging out with lots of swag and goodie around the Fox Tower. I think it's around 3 p.m. So just walk on by, bring us a cold drink, and we'll see you then.
You won't say no. Thanks, bro. Always good to see you. Jeff Emig. It was actually Falk that made the moves. So Falk going up to the number 3 spot. Oh, and then feet off the pegs. And that's going to allow Greer to fight right back. So Derek Drake, Seth Hammacher battling up front. Mitchell Falk was the one making the moves. And he gets him back. What a battle that we're watching. Seth Hammacher starting to get away from Drake. Falk and Greer are just having a battle to the death for 3rd place. Side by side, they almost touched over that double. And Falk is able to seal him off. So Falk, who made a bunch of moves in the 10 Commandments, then Greer got him back. Falk has now repassed Greer. 3rd place still up for grabs, but for the moment, and I only mean for the moment, it could change at any time, but Mitchell Falk has locked it down.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rodbell come under fire hard and fast there as they came through there, and Tanner Stack was able to get around Dylan Greer, Mitchell Falk. So now we've set the stage with a few different players here, so we'll be keeping an eye on this one. And I'm telling you, don't count out Derek Drake. I think this rider is still hungry enough and still aggressive enough here in this moto to make things happen. We are only 6 minutes and 30 seconds or so into this race, so 13 and a half minutes. A lot of things can happen, and when we're talking 258 competition and riders at this level, a lot of wild things can happen, and a lot of great racing is going to take place before that checker flag flies.
Yeah, still not done. Still battling. Behind Falk, you've got Greer. Now Tanner Stack starting to make his presence known on the number 38 Yamaha. Rodbell, Kobush, Nice, St. Merritt, and Johnny Garcia rounding out the top 10. There is your leader, Seth Hammacher out of Pennsylvania on the Team Green Kawasaki, just starting to get away a bit from Derek Drake, who is in second on the Orange Brigade TLD KTM. And then Fox, same team, at least temporarily, is up to third. He had that good battle going with Dylan Greer. Tanner Stack has now taken over the 5th place spot. So here's Hammacher, won the Monster Energy Cup Amateur All-Star event back last fall. Drake is not letting him go. Drake is still in the hunt for the lead. Let's get a little idea of the gap here. 2.1 seconds, so one mistake from Hammacher, and Drake's going to be right back on.
And look at the gap. I mean, look at the lap times: 154.197, 154.408. And you're right. I believe that one mistake is what separated these two riders to that 2-second gap that we're looking at right now. When there's only 0.3 of a second averaging between these guys, difference in lap times. Yeah, that one little mistake. It's a matter of who makes the last mistake here. I think who's going to be able to and who's going to be able to capitalize is who's going to win.
Oh, you can see Drake is digging so hard there in second to try to make that ground up on Hammacher. No lap traffic. It's a clear racetrack. Drake been using that outside.
Seems to pay off. He didn't lose any time that time through the 10 Commandments section as we head into this Storyland section, the Honda Storyland. This is where things really start to get interesting. It's funny to me how sometimes you got one rider that does so well through the rhythm sections, and then once you get into Storyland, the opposing rider seems to have an advantage through that section. And we see that happening and we made mention of it, different sections of the track. And that's made for some good racing, I think, today, and some good passes that have popped up.
Well, if anyone watched that 50-plus moto that we just wrapped up, you cannot say the track doesn't offer passing. Gruy and Karsten were side by side, literally for entire laps at a time.
Yes. Yeah, speaking of Karsten, Corey Karsten is in this one. Yeah,
on the number 31. So Barry, I probably had to head right back to the line. and watch. Okay, so Seth Hammacher continues to control it over Derek Drake and Mitchell Falk. We'll see if the two KTM riders can make a run on him. It's good racing, though.
I tell you, I gotta say, I love it when the aerial drone view footage comes in. You really get to see the different lines of this track instead of from ground level. You get to see the multiple line choices that these guys have, and that's what Jeff Emig was talking about just a few minutes ago. The decisions that these guys make, it happens without even thinking. It just becomes a nature for these guys in the way they race. But from the ground level, it looks totally different from what you see from the air, because you see the width of this track and the incredible different line choice.
There are a lot of choices, I think, out there. Which ones are better? That changes throughout the course of the day. You know, one line might be better for one moto, or even at the beginning of a moto, and by the end of a moto, that line is gone, and there's a whole new one that has opened up someplace. So you've got to be very versatile whenever you make your way to the Amateur National Championship Finals.
Rodney knows. He's a man that's made many bad choices in life. He knows all about it. Knows all about it. A couple of good ones.
A couple of good ones. I got a couple of good kids, I guess.
Okay. That right.
Yeah, well, we'll leave it at that.
All right. Drake continuing to keep the heat on Hammacher up front.
Lap time still dipping down into that 154 range there for your early leader. The fastest lap that we've seen, it's only been a 153.5 here late in the morning. We're looking at about the halfway point of this 20-minute moto, as we're about 10 minutes and 30 seconds into this, working on 11 minutes now. So we're kind of in the home stretch, as our leaders should be making their way into the final stretch here in just a couple moments to wrap up lap number 6. And we'll see visually what 2.4 seconds looks like, or what could be now closer to 3 seconds between Hammacher and Derek Drake.
It's a majority of the top 10 riders have settled into their places. You notice that the real battles, a lot of the real battles are back from 11th through 15th. As a lot of these riders are within 1 second to a half second of each other, as they're still trying to battle it out through the pack from their gate starts or bad start and work their way in.
Hammacher in with 6, a 155.5. Derek Drake right behind him with a 154.1. The gap now just 1 second. Looks like Drake is starting to pick it up now.
Oh, yeah, this is as close as they have been since the opening lap. Drake all over Seth Hammacher through the mechanics area. So we've got a wheel-to-wheel duel for the lead brewing through the twisties. Drake continuing to make up time. Oh, this is going to get good now. They're about to battle.
Well, we should expect it. After the last race and watching Gruy and Carson race out there, it's only expected. And this is the A-level classes. These are your next pro riders you're going to see on TV.
Okay, into the 10 Commandments. Drake's been pretty quick using this outside. Let's see if he can close the gap further on Hammacher. He does. It's right there on the rear fender now.
So here we go into the Storyland, and again, Hammacher may be a little faster than Drake coming through this section, but all the ground that is being made up leading into this, we may see a repeat of what we saw in that Masters 50-plus class there between Carson and Gruy just a little bit ago, and that's what it's lending itself toward right now. We'll just have to wait and see. Drake still in second, Falk third, Stack is up to fourth now, Lance Kobush rounding out that top 5, and the gap is back to 8 seconds, but look at the battles going on for third between Falk and Stack right now. Less than a second separating those two.
One of the benefits that these guys are getting in the 250A class is they are yet to catch the back of the field. They still have open track. They get to make their own line choices. It's not dictated by them having to pass the slower traffic as they work their way through.
Yeah, at one point Mitchell Falk was battling Dylan Greer for third. We have lost Greer from the radar, so Tanner Stack has taken over the 4th place spot. Lance Kobush making up for a bad start, saw him about 9th earlier. Now Kobush is 5th. Justin Rodbell 6th. Luke Neese is 7th. Sierra Narin is 8th. Johnny Garcia is 9th. And Zane Merritt rounds out your top 10. Drake got the jump on Hammacher and got close 1 lap ago. Hammacher's pulled back away. Drake had a 154 lap, now a 156.
All right, Falk is through now, a 155.7. Last time around, Stack came through with a 154, was less than a second behind. He comes through with a 156 this time. The gap is 1.5 seconds as Lance Kobush sees maybe a window of opportunity opening, but he's got about 4 seconds to make up to catch up to Tanner Stack. These final laps here in this last 6 minutes of racing are going to get kind of interesting here, I believe, as we're still only looking at about 2.3 seconds between first and second, as we have found it hard to take our eyes off the battle for first place between Hammacher and Derek Drake as they roll through the 10 Commandments and heading now once again towards Storyland. Now, I want you to take note of a couple of things. I keep watching on TV, and I keep thinking, where is that rhythm section at on this racetrack? I don't recall that rhythm section being there. What that is the short chutes out there. That is the rhythm section I'm looking at coming through this Lake Polysport sweeper right here. That used to be as smooth as silk. I mean, it looked like you were ready to go out and plant corn or soybeans or something in that, so well tilled early this morning. And now it looks like a major mogul section, and this whole racetrack is starting to develop like that. Owen Ogden to the trackside office. Owen Ogden to the trackside office. Folks, again, want to remind you, if you are an alternate, one of the first two alternates, when you need to be up here at the MX Sports office trailer in alternate staging, in case you are called to the starting line. So we need all first and second alternates. When your class is up, you need to be up there close to the MX Sports office trailer at the alternate staging area, as if a position opens, we'll send you immediately to the starting line.
Yeah, that's alternate island underneath the tent across from the office. We'll feed you grapes, fan you with giant leaves. So we'll try to take care of the alternates while they wait their chance to potentially get into the motos. Seth Hammacher, Derek Drake, no change. It's been about 2 seconds the entire race. Drake made a run with a real good lap 3 laps ago, but has not been able to get any closer than that. Fox still all alone in third over Stack and Lance Kobush.
Riders in the 6th place include Justin Rodbell, 7th, Sierra Narin, 8th is Luke Neese, 9th, Johnny Garcia, and 10th, Zane Merritt. 11 through 15, you'll see Ezra Hastings, 12th place, Justin Thompson, 13th, Dustin Winter, 14th, Preston Taylor, and in 15th, Andy Dinical.
Well, less than 6 minutes to go in this race. Actually, less than 4 minutes to go in this race. We are about 3.5 minutes before we expect to see a checker flag come out, and that translates into about 2 laps, as the 2-lap board is out here for this 258 class at Loretta Lynn's. No, it's not. It is not out yet. It might be coming out. I looked down. I didn't see the 2-lap board out.
The leaders just rolled around through the ATVMX MC Sand Beach area. And Seth Hammacher right now is crossing the finish line. Seth for his 9th lap.
Well, that gap between Hammacher and Derek Drake now went from 1.9 seconds to just over 3 seconds. Drake keeps making that push, and he closes in on Hammacher, but for some reason and some way, Hammacher's able to come right back the next lap and stretch it back out just a little bit. But meanwhile, Hammacher and Drake are certainly setting the standard for this 258 class here for 2018. As Tanner Stack back in the number 3 spot, some 11.2 seconds back. Mitchell Falk now in 4th as he drops from 3rd aboard the number 62. Lance Kobush holding steady the last few laps aboard that number 99 machine in 5th place. Justin Rodbell, the Yamaha number 58 in 6th. Sian Naran still in 7th. Neese is 8th. Johnny Garcia 9th, and Zane Merritt rounding out the top 10. And back to that battle for the lead. Can the number 33 of Derek Drake close this gap 3 seconds between he and the 51 machine of Hammacher as we roll through these final and closing moments of Moto number 1 of this 258 class?
Derek Drake is definitely pushing Hammacher out there. They're both increasing their lead over the 3rd and 4th riders. One is pushing the other as you see these guys going around this track.
And the Rocky Mountain Sweeper turn is where our leaders are now. Derek Drake still trying to lay chase to that 51 machine, but it appears that Seth Hammacher has this one dialed in, my friends. And our finish line flagger waving that white flag. We'll turn that to checkers here in just a moment. And this race will come to a close. And there is the 51 machine. Final stages.
That was white flag.
White flag, one more to go, so less than 2 minutes, you could say. for Checkers in a Moto 1 win. What can happen in a matter of 2 minutes or less? We're about to find out, as this rough and rowdy racetrack is making for as much of an obstacle as any jump on it and as any competitor that comes out and lines up against these racers. But Hammacher seems to have really dialed it all in, puts it all together here today. So we see Derek Drake in second, Tanner Stack in third, Mitchell Falk in fourth, Lance Kobush now in the number 5 spot, starting to close up gap a little bit on Falk. Falk dropping to a 2:01, Kobush still staying under that 2-minute mark, but still 6 seconds from Falk. Unless Falk makes a really big mistake or slows down here on this final lap, I don't think we're going to see much of a change through our top 5. Rod Bell running 15, almost 16 seconds back in 6. Now Naran running 0.3 of a second behind Rod Bell. We might see Naran move up a spot there. The 11 and the 58 machine have a big battle going on right now, as this should be our final lap, if I'm not mistaken, for the 51 machine, making his way around now. Still out front, still running in the 155.8 range. His fastest lap, a 153.5. Derek Drake last time around dropped to a 159, so you can see he has relinquished the idea that he is going to be a Moto 1 winner, but he's also doing the math. We know how these championships work. It's consistency that pays off in the end, and that's what he's going to hope for, and as is the number 51 machine, now under the Lucas Oil banner, into that final turn here at Loretta Lynn's in Moto number 1, and the 250A Moto 1 winner, Seth Hammacher, on board the number 51.
We did see on the 9th lap, something happened out there with Derek Drake as he went from a 2-second gap behind your leader to a 6+ second gap between the leader. But on the final lap, he did close that up. He dropped a couple seconds closer. But still, the Checkers flag went for Seth Hammacher. Second will be Derek Drake on the 33 machine, and third place will be Tanner Stack, number 38 on his Yamaha.
Hammacher out of Bainbridge, Pennsylvania, on a Monster Energy, Kawasaki Team Green, Pro Circuit Fly Racing, Bell Helmets, Oakley, Alpine Stars, Dunlop Tires, backed machine. And you can see a little bit of work and maintenance going on right in front of that billboard. We talk about how the moguls are starting to develop there and becoming a very challenging place to race. As we take a look at our Rocky Mountain top 10 leaderboard, there it is again Hammacher, Drake, Stack, Falk in 4th, Kobush in 5th. Justin Rodbell does hang on for 6th, as Naran will take the 7th place position finish. 8th place Luke Neese, 9th place Zane Merritt, 10th place Justin Thompson. And we'll be checking in with the Weege down on the podium as Moto medals will be handed out, as well as Bell Helmet Holeshot Awards.
We got it. Moto winner. Solid performance. Starting the week off right with a gold. Let's hear it for Seth Hammacher. Well, some pressure being applied by Derek Drake most of the way, but it seemed like you took it pretty smooth. No problem.
Yeah, he was there the whole race. Kept me on my toes, and I had to push the whole time. I felt really good out there. Bike was working really well, and it was an awesome race start to finish.
Talk about the kind of work you've been putting in to prepare to do things like this.
Been working really hard, just preparing myself for this race and the biggest amateur around the country, and you know, you got to come in swinging, and you got to be healthy coming in to do your best, and it's going to be a tough week, long week, but I think we're going to be able to do it and get the job done this week.
All right, Seth, who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank my mom and dad, all my sisters, my grandparents, Monster Energy, Kawasaki Team Green, Monster Energy, Pro Circuit, Dunlop, Unity Filters, Hinson, Renthal, Maxima, RK, everybody who's been just helped me get to this point, and Fly Racing, Oakley, Bell, Alpine Stars, Asterix, everybody over at Team Green, they put everything in for me, and I do the same for them. I try to work as hard as I can. Everybody back home watching, it's just awesome. I'm really pumped.
Absolutely, I'm sure you are. Let's hear it for the 51, who's number 1 this time, Seth Hammacher. And a good hard charge by the second place rider. We're going to bring up the number 33. We're going to bring Derek Drake on up. There he is. Well, he kept Seth Hammacher honest, had that lead around 1 second almost the entire way, so it should be a good week-long battle between these two for Moto wins. He also got himself a Bell Helmets Holeshot Award. So I'll give you this, and then I'll give you the medal. Let's hear if your Holeshot Award winner and second place, Derek Drake. You pushed hard in that one, kept them honest, kept the heat on for sure.
Yeah, definitely grabbed a great hole shot thanks to my KTM USA bike. And, you know, I was a little nervous at first. I'm always nervous first motos. And, yeah, I'm going to work it in through the week. And it could be a lot worse in a second. So we're going into the third motos positive and ready to race.
All right, who else do you want to thank, Derek?
My whole family, Red Bull KTM for the designs, Red Bull Spy, Dunlop, FMF, the whole short family, Alpine Stars, you know, just my good group of friends around me, and yeah, I look forward to a good week.
Good job, Derek. Let's hear it for second place, Derek Drake. A little change up with about 2 laps to go. For third, we had Mitchell Falk in that spot, but taking it now on the Yamaha. Come on up, bronze medal. Third place going to go to Tanner Stack. Let this group take off behind us on a sight lap, and then we'll talk to Tanner. Well, you had to work your way up, T-Stack, and you got the job done. You get up on the podium. Good effort.
Yeah, I got a pretty bad jump and ended up making my way like pretty good through the first corner. So I was probably like 10, just had to make them smart passes. Like it's a 20-minute moto, so you got a lot of time to do it. And Falk was riding great. I was just kind of staying behind him for a little bit, and he kind of seemed like he got a little bit tired, so I was able to make the pass.
You feeling good for the rest of the week? Does it set you up well?
Yeah, for sure.
Who do you want to thank?
My mom, my dad, my mechanic Neil, everyone from Club MX, EBR Yamaha, Altus, Supercharged, Build Pipes, Dunlop, Alpine Star, Answer, 100%, whoever forgot things.
There it is, folks. Third place, Tanner Stack. Okay, that's 250A. We'll be right back.